Hiya folks, how's it going? My name's Lexi and I really love tabletop games. I love them so much that I sit down once a week, every week, and review one here at the gaming table. If that sounds interesting to you, I encourage you to hit subscribe and keep watching today's video. I try to keep these videos on the shorter side, under 10 minutes, so we both can find our next game quickly. Before we dive into today's game, I just would like to quickly thank a couple of people. The first people I would like to thank is everyone who has donated to my Ko-Fi page. Sometimes game creators reach out to me for a review and they're unable to provide me a physical copy of their game. In these cases, I get the game printed and bound locally. All the funds that are donated to my Ko-Fi page directly contribute to this. So a big thank you to everyone who has supported the channel. If you happen to have a game that you would like to see on the gaming table, you can reach out to me using the email address in the description below. I will let you know due to the number of games that have been submitted to me. I do have a bit of a delay in between receiving games and getting a review out. I'm still always keen to at least hear what people have been working on. Lastly, I would like to thank Riley Daniels for offering a game for me to review. Without Riley or the donors to my Ko-Fi page, today's episode literally couldn't have happened. So let's take a look at Ghoulboys Paranormal Snvestigators. Ghoulboys is a game that takes place on a screen. What I mean by that is the characters in this story have their own ghost files or paranormal investigation show, and the player characters get to choose who they would like to be on the show. These investigators want to get to the bottom of the truth. Is the paranormal real? They probably won't discover the truth though. There are 3 roles in this game: the believer, the skeptic, and the producer. The believer is searching for proof to back up their belief in the paranormal, whereas the skeptic is going to poke holes in all of their proof. The producer wants to find the most interesting story. The producer isn't going to pick a side, they're just going to highlight interesting things that happen for entertainment value. I can see that this game was perhaps inspired by a certain YouTube series. I can also see plenty of inspiration from the science fiction genre at large, such as the dynamic of your Mulder and Scully. I do like that in the end this game is about creating an entertaining story. It doesn't really matter who's right. It's more about the relationships between the characters and the witty banter. This game is for 3 players and requires some dice and tokens. When a character wants to highlight their perspective, they'll spend a token to push their agenda. A believer, for example, might reveal a previously unknown gruesome history to a place. The skeptic might then spend a token to make some remark about how it's the wind moving the curtains. The producer then could spend a token to highlight something that neither the believer or the skeptic have pointed out. Perhaps a mysterious shadow in the background, or the fact that this place has a lot of electromagnetic interference, for one reason or the other. The dice in this game seem to be used more to generate ideas on tables for potential locations and things to happen there. Not only do the dice provide developments for the characters to riff on, but they also can provide the results of what happens when the player characters use any ghost hunting equipment. Rolling on a table might have the spirit box produce an incomprehensible message, or perhaps the flashlight flickers on and off ominously. Overall, I think the mechanics of this game serve the game's purpose of being a bit humorous and highlighting some friendly banter. Ghoulboys is a fun little game. I really love that this game is built around the believer and the skeptic archetype, and I really enjoy when a game focuses on character dynamics. I think the inclusion of the producer role is a really clever one. The producer is not necessarily as invested into whether or not the paranormal is real, so they get to highlight things in the broader story or make some interesting remarks. The producer role also demonstrates some of the work that goes into making a Ghost Files show entertaining. The atmosphere of this game does tend towards the light and the fun, but I do think there's plenty of moments available for tension. It's great that the game makes the characters' options for what they can do in the scene directly push what their agenda is. A believer can heavily invest in making a scene feel really creepy, and the skeptic can come along to debunk or poke holes in what is being set up. I think this game would work best as a one-shot, or perhaps a series of kind of disconnected episodes that happen with reoccurring characters. I really enjoyed just how fun this game is. Perhaps if you're a hardcore believer in the paranormal, this game could upset your sensibilities with how light it can take the subject. On the other hand, if you're a hardcore skeptic, you might not even want to entertain the idea of proving the paranormal. I know it can be odd in real life if you come across someone who is a hardcore believer or hardcore skeptic. I was visiting a historic site once in Australia, and I happened to encounter a pair of paranormal investigators, and being around them and how they acted sort of pushed me into the role of the skeptic when I generally was pretty happy just trying to say nothing. I found the spirit box they carried, which they claimed communicated messages, to be funny rather than scary. The final straw was when one of them pointed to a curtain moving in the breeze and said that was a spirit doing that. I had to walk away to maintain my composure. A copy of Ghoulboys is around $10 on itch.io. If you happen to enjoy Ghost Files shows, and you know a couple of friends who do, this could be a really fun one to play together. Ghoulboys understands what makes Ghost Files shows so entertaining. It's not necessarily about whether or not the truth can be found out there. It's more the dynamics between the presenters and the crew. The game establishes that the player characters, while friends, have conflicting beliefs and desires for what they want to see out of this show. And the game creates a fun space to explore those dynamics. But what do you think? Are you a believer, a skeptic, or a producer? I think I'm mostly a producer, but I've been a skeptic before. Let me know which role you identify with down in the comments below. While you're there, I encourage you to like this video, press subscribe, and turn on notifications so YouTube can tell you when I've next uploaded. If you really like, you could share this video with a friend. There is also a link in my description to my Ko-Fi page where you can donate to this channel so I can fund getting games printed and bound. I once again want to say thank you to Riley Daniels for reaching out to me to do this review, and to all of my Ko-Fi donors who have made today's episode possible. I want to thank you all for watching and engaging with this video. Any little bit of engagement, be it a short comment, a like, really encourages YouTube to show this video to other people, which brings more people to the gaming table. I hope you're all well, and I look forward to seeing you next time at the gaming table. Bye!